Holy and righteous is thy name. Holy and righteous is thy name. The whole world is filled with thy glory. The whole world is filled with thy grace. Holy and righteous is thy name. Happy Sabbath to everybody who honors the Sabbath. For you, it's the day of praise. And for everyone else, as long as you understand and recognize the importance of praise, it does not matter who you call God. Just know that the Spirit dwells with us and within us. And there's always a guiding force, always hands ready to take you where you need to go. Think on those things and remember, in your trials, in your struggles, remember the guiding force is never far off. All you got to do is call out in your time of need. I'm going to share a story with you. When I was 14 years old, I was attending a school for which at that time, you could get a vocation, but you didn't have the ability, well, not the ability, but the opportunity, if you stayed at that school, to branch off to, for example, post-secondary education. That's how it was at the time. And so the opportunity came for me to go and sit an exam at a local high school. But I didn't have the money to pay the fees to do that. And the day before, I ran into one of the principal at the primary school where I attended, and she asked me if I was going to sit this exam. And I told her no, because we didn't have the money. We missed the deadline to pay the fee. And she said she gave me a letter and she told me to give it to the principal. She said she spoke to him on the telephone and he told her to give me this letter to bring. And so the day of the exam, I was very excited. And when I went, I saw him calling out the kid's name in the assembly hall. And I went to him and I gave him the letter. And he chased me away. He says, "Get away from here. I don't have time for all that." And so I waited for them to call someone's name, because that was a plan for my best friend and I. When they call someone's name, and if the person doesn't get up to go to the room, I would. And so I went to the room and I sat the exam. Now, of course, I didn't get in. Number one, the fee wasn't paid, and so they didn't acknowledge that test. And fast forward over 30 years, I found myself standing in a classroom, pretty much like the one where I sat that exam. But this time, I was not trying to be a student. I was a teacher. And I share this story to say to you that there is nothing that is impossible for our Creator. And that all things are possible, regardless of how long it takes or your journey to that point. Understand that if God or Jehovah or El Shaddai or Yahweh or whomever you call God is for you, no one can be against you. And whatever is marked in your destiny, nothing can prevent you. I stepped outside yesterday, and when I look at the mat in front of my door, and I have videos I'll share another time, it was filled with dust, white dust, almost like flake. From a distance, it would look like snowflakes. And all over the walkway, onto the vehicle, onto the garbage, all this dusting. And I looked next to the neighbor and I saw dusting on his vehicle, and I saw that across from me. Now I showed it to my companions at home, and at first they thought it was snow. I said, "This is not snow," because I had a very strange feeling that came over me. And when I was looking closely at it, I was feeling very weird. I looked at it, I stepped over it, and I called out to the Most High. And I said, no weapons formed against me shall prosper. Now, this is not something that was just an attack on me. This is something that is happening on a level. And the thing is, I was ready. I didn't know how it would come, but I was ready for it when it came. And there's so much more that I would want to share, perhaps in another video. And there's so many things I'm seeing in the spirit realm. And the spirits are showing up and they're speaking without words. And all I can say is, holy and righteous is thy name. And that the whole world is still filled with the glory of the Creator. The energies that exist in and around us are very much in control. Even though we want to act like we are not in control. But they who guide us will guide us to peace and joy and grace and mercy. And we are filled with rage, but if we invite the presence of the Most High, all that can turn to peace. The whole world is filled with glory and praise, even though it doesn't appear that way. We must turn to that true and living entity that dwells in every one of us. Acknowledge their presence. Know that if we ask for blessing, we should become a blessing to others. Man is made of blood and flesh and spirit, but the outer shell is useless. It is the thing that dwells within you that is powerful, that is great. And the source that we're connected to, that we must turn to fuel us, to keep us in faith and love. We have to tap into that inner strength, that inner man or person. And know that which is greater than you and I only ask for worship, only ask for praise. And if you have to say, I will hold on to you until you bless me, then you do that. But you must have faith and you must believe. You must know. You must know for yourself. You must spend time in quiet meditation. Look for opportunity to surround yourself with positive vibration and positive energy, and not lure off too far from the center, being centered in that which is holy and righteous. We're carnal by nature, but when we tap into the source, we grow spiritually, lovingly. So I encourage you today, wherever you are, remember that the true and living energies around us is never far away, is always waiting for us to come back home, to be centered in its presence or their presence, and their love. So have a blessed Sabbath if you're honoring the Sabbath or keeping the Sabbath. And if you're not, still remember to pray and to give thanks, to meditate, and to stay in love. Be blessed.